Alright guys, Legal Life back again. Another tabletop review. This time I got the Glock 19 Gen 5. So, no magazine in the gun. Gun is clear. So this particular Glock 19 started off as a standard Glock 19. All I did to it when I first got it was put Talon grips on it and a red dot. I was running a Burst Fast Fire 3. So I decided I was gonna do it up and do a few things to it. So that's what we got here today. But my overall impressions of the Glock 19 Gen 5 is it's another Glock. Realistically, it's just another Glock. They did add a couple things. They did a couple things that I really like to it. So I'm gonna get into it. Ambidextrous slide release. Many of you know I'm a lefty, so an actual functional ambidextrous slide release that works is always gonna be something I lean towards. I do like it on here. It works. It's not extended, but I don't know if you guys, if the camera's gonna pick it up. It is pushed out enough to where you get a good grip on it. There's certain ones that are kind of tucked in and really hard to get at. This one ain't really that bad. I do want to get extended controls for it, but overall, I give it a 10 out of 10 for the ambi slide release, slide lock lever, whatever you want to call it. The ambi magazine release. Now, if anybody who ever took a magazine release out of a Glock knows it's a pain in the ass if you don't have an L-shaped like little hook or something to actually get in there and grab the little stupid metal piece that's sticking up and get it out and around. It did take a little bit, and you will scratch up the inside of your gun if you're not really too careful with it. So I did that, and as far as the magazine release goes, I don't have any complaints. I'm not running a stock magazine release. I did switch it out for I can't remember who makes this one, but I did that when I first got it, and no problems. I'm not having no chipping on none of my magazines or nothing like that from running a metal magazine release with standard magazines. I've been doing this since I got the gun, and none of my magazines have any amounts of wear on them whatsoever. So I mean, take that for what you want. Everybody's experience is different. So the magazine release, it's pretty decent. This is obviously upgraded, not stock. So we get into that. I got the MOS version, so cut for a red dot. One thing I don't really care for is the plates that Glock comes with. Like they're cheap. They're, you know what I'm saying, cheap. Fucking, I don't even know if they're metal. They might be metal or plastic, whatever they are. I haven't touched mine in a while, but they're cheap. You can go out there and buy better plates for your red dot if you really want. If you want it really low, then I suggest just getting a regular one and getting it milled out so you can get the exact fitment. Because my Glock 43, I bought an aftermarket slide and it's direct mount. This you got to put the stupid little plate on it, and it makes it sit a little bit higher. And that leads me to another gripe, which is why I took off the red dot. Is since it put it a little bit higher, it threw my aim off. So what I mean by that is before when I was aiming and I'm aiming down sight, you got to push forward with the Glock because the grip angle. I felt like I had to lift up some, and it was causing me to. It wasn't really affecting my accuracy, but it was more a comfort thing with the gun. You know what I mean? It had its pros and its cons, but that's the reason I took off the red dot on here and I switched out to a black back, red front. Favorite combination, blacked out rear. So I mean, do with that what you will. It's not really a deal breaker for a lot of people, but for me, it was just one of them things I don't really like it. Moving on. So the bottom of these Gen 5s, they did go. The first iteration of the Gen 5s did have that stupid cut in the bottom of the handle right there. The MOS does not have it. So in with the MOS, if you can pick it up on here, it's slightly pushed out on the bottom. So it's flared just a little bit on the bottom of the Gen 5s, the MOSs. I did throw an extended mag well on here. It's not too big. I wanted to keep it slightly small. This is from Overwatch Precision. I wanted to keep it small enough to where I could still conceal carry this gun without any problem. But it's still big enough to do its job. So in terms of that, it's it's already flared out to an extent, but when when you're trying to move fast and everything like that, it all helps. It all matters. So I threw an even bigger one on there, but it'll help. It'll do its thing. The original without it is not that bad compared to I'd say Gen 3s and stuff like that. Gen 5, they did remove the finger grooves. The finger grooves ain't a make or break for me, to be honest with you. I could live with them, I could live without them. Um, the trigger. The stock trigger on the Gen 5 is probably the best stock Glock trigger on their guns that they've put out through the generations. I'm not talking about the 19X and like the 35 and stuff like that. These mainstream Glock 19, Glock 17. I think the Gen 5s have the better trigger. It's not that heavy. It's not that bad. I don't believe I have any videos of me with the trigger pull, but if I do, I'll insert some videos here. I did change the trigger out just to get a better rate and a better reset. So this is a Overwatch Precision DAT. So straight to the wall, break, reset, break. So I changed it out just to get a better trigger pull. There was nothing wrong with the stock trigger at all. I could have ran it all day without any problems. I am running stock internals as far as my firing pin and stuff like that. The only thing I did change out was the trigger and the barrel and the comp. So that leads me to the next thing. The gun wasn't snappy like that. It was a pretty good gun. I wanted to get the recoil down some more. So PMM, JTTC, comp, and barrel combo. Pretty good in my opinion. I like it. If you don't like it, you want the Radian, whichever one you want, you can go with. I mean, that's personal preference, to be honest with you. What works for me might not work for you. So overall, the Gen 5 as a whole, Glock 19 Gen 5 as a whole, I think it's probably the best Glock 19 that they've put out so far. With the marksman barrel, it's not going to make a huge difference, but I mean, if you're already accurate, you might see increase your accuracy slightly. I'm not saying a lot. You might not even notice it. It might be so slight you don't even see it. But as far as the Gen 5s overall, my favorite Glock generation. Let me know in the comments which one y'all like. A lot of people like the Gen 3s, and I'm going to be the first to say the magazine release on the Gen 3s fucking suck. Yeah, I mean, if you like it, that's up to you. I hate them. I really do. But like, comment, subscribe, man. Let me know down in the comments what y'all favorite Glock generation is for the 19, man. Legal life, I'm out of here.
And jump off in this Lego life.